All right, get ready to dive deep into the world of Infosys today.
Sounds good.
You've sent us a mountain of reports and articles
Yeah, even some internal documents.
all about this tech giant. So
Yeah.
let's get right into it.
Okay.
The mission for this deep dive is to really unpack their journey,
Okay.
their financial performance,
Right.
and their strategic bets for the future.
Makes sense.
Think of this as your cheat sheet
Okay.
to understanding Infosys, where they stand and where they're headed.
Got it.
Now, everyone knows Infosys is a big name in tech,
Yeah,
but their story is actually fascinating.
it really is.
They started back in 1981 with just US $250,
Wow.
and now they're this global powerhouse
Yeah.
worth billions.
That's amazing.
It's a classic tale of entrepreneurship and vision.
Absolutely.
And what's even more impressive is their evolution,
Mm-hmm.
from pioneering the global delivery model, which practically revolutionized the IT industry,
Yeah.
to embracing all of these AI-first strategies.
Mm-hmm.
They've consistently adapted
Yeah.
to stay ahead of the curve.
Definitely.
Speaking of AI,
Yes.
they are all in on generative AI,
Really?
seeing it as a massive opportunity.
Wow.
They've even built this AI-first platform
Interesting.
called Infosys Topaz.
Okay.
And they're not keeping it to themselves.
No.
They're helping their clients.
Oh, wow.
And get this, over 250,000 of their own employees
Okay.
become AI aware.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's pretty impressive.
It really shows their commitment to
Yeah.
not only developing cutting-edge technology,
Mm-hmm.
but also to upskilling their workforce
Right.
and preparing them for the future of work.
I see.
All right, enough of the backstory.
Okay.
Let's get down to business and talk numbers.
Sure.
You've sent us a bunch of financial statements.
All right.
So let's break it down.
Great.
What's the overview of their revenue growth?
Well, their latest annual report shows total revenue for the fiscal year was a whopping 153,670 crore.
Wow, that's a lot of crores.
Yeah.
Now, for those who aren't familiar with Indian currency,
Right.
that's roughly US $18.6 billion.
Okay.
Quite a significant figure.
Definitely.
That's a lot of zeros,
Yeah.
but it's not just about the absolute numbers.
Right.
It's about growth.
Exactly.
How are they doing on that front?
Well, their overall revenue grew by 4.6% this year,
Okay.
which is decent considering,
Yeah.
the global economic headwinds everyone's facing.
Yeah.
But to get a better picture,
Yeah.
we need to break down their growth by segment.
Okay, great point.
Yeah.
Their annual report mentions a really diverse
Right.
client base across various sectors, everything from financial services
Mm-hmm.
and healthcare
Yeah.
to retail and manufacturing.
Right.
Do we have any insights into
Uh,
how those different segments are performing?
Absolutely. Their financial statements provide some segment-specific information.
Okay.
For instance, their financial services segment
Mhm.
saw a revenue increase of 5.8%,
Okay.
while retail CPG
Right.
and logistics grew by an impressive 11.1%.
Wow. Okay, so those are
Yeah.
areas of strength.
Yeah, those are some strong points.
Wow, those are some seriously impressive growth figures.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're really capitalizing on
Mhm.
their diverse offerings.
Right.
But hold on a second.
Yeah.
Their manufacturing segment
Uh-huh.
actually experienced a decline in revenue, didn't it?
That's right.
Okay.
The manufacturing segment saw a revenue decrease of 5.2%.
Okay, so why is that?
Well, it could be due to a number of factors,
Yeah.
such as supply chain disruptions,
Right.
the global economic slowdown,
Right.
or maybe even shifts in customer demand.
Okay.
It just highlights the importance of diversification,
Right.
even for a giant like Infosys.
Okay, so we've got the revenue picture.
Yeah.
Now let's zoom in on profitability. What can you tell us about their margins?
Their operating profit for the year came in at 38,630 crore, with an operating margin of 25.1%.
Okay.
That's a healthy level of profitability,
Right.
especially in today's competitive landscape.
Not too shabby at all.
Right.
But their operating expenses seem to have
Yeah.
increased compared to last year, right? What's driving that?
It's mainly due to higher employee benefit expenses
Uh-huh.
and the cost of subcontractors.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about Infosys
Right.
investing heavily in reskilling their employees?
Yeah.
Well, that's reflected here.
Makes sense. With the demand for tech talent skyrocketing,
Right.
it's no surprise that those costs are going up.
Uh-huh.
So how does all of this translate to their
Yeah.
bottom line?
Right.
What's their net income looking like?
Their net income landed at a solid 27,234 crore,
Okay.
giving them a net income margin of 17.7%.
All right, so they're clearly a profitable company.
They are.
But remember, it's not just about the absolute numbers.
Right.
It's also about growth and how they're performing compared to their peers.
Exactly.
That's a perfect segue to our next section.
Okay.
We'll be exploring Infosys's client base, their R&D investments, and their competitive landscape
All right.
to get a full picture of their market position.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Infosys.
So we just talked about their strong financial performance.
Right.
But in today's tech world,
Yeah.
profits are just one piece of the puzzle. We need to look at their clients, their innovation game,
Right.
and how they stack up against the competition.
Absolutely.
So let's start with their client base, which is surprisingly diverse.
Yeah, it really is.
They've got clients in almost every sector imaginable.
It's true.
Financial services, healthcare, retail,
Yeah.
manufacturing, you name it. They're probably there.
They're everywhere.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It seems like they're not putting all their eggs in one basket,
Nope.
which is a smart move
Right.
in today's volatile market.
Definitely.
And their annual report highlights
Yeah.
that they're not just acquiring new clients,
Right.
but they're also keeping the ones they have.
Exactly.
They boast a strong track record of client retention, which tells you a lot about the quality of their services
Yeah.
and the strength of their relationships.
Absolutely. Happy clients usually stick around.
Right. But getting new clients and keeping existing ones is only half the battle.
True.
In tech, you've got to constantly innovate to stay ahead.
Yeah.
So what's Infosys doing on the R&D front?
Well, they've got this dedicated
Yeah.
Center for Emerging Technology Solutions, which is focused on developing all sorts of next-gen services and offerings.
Right.
And as we touched on earlier,
Right.
they're pouring resources into AI, particularly with their Infosys Topaz platform.
Okay, so they're really going all in on AI.
It seems like it.
But are they just building tech for themselves?
Well,
Or are they sharing the AI love with their clients?
they're definitely sharing the love.
Okay, good.
They're helping their clients become AI aware.
Which is a fancy way of saying
Yeah.
they're helping them integrate AI into their own operations.
Exactly.
It's like they're creating an entire AI ecosystem.
It is.
That's a really interesting approach.
Yeah.
So they're not just a tech vendor.
Right.
They're becoming a strategic partner,
Yeah.
helping their clients navigate this whole AI revolution.
That's true.
That's got to give them an edge in the market.
Absolutely. But of course, they're not operating in a vacuum.
Right.
The IT services industry is incredibly competitive.
Oh, yeah, super competitive.
So how does Infosys measure up against the big players?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
From what I've seen,
Yeah.
they're definitely holding their own. They're recognized as a leader,
Right.
especially in areas like application development,
Right.
digital transformation, and cloud services.
Yeah.
Even industry analysts
Yes.
like Everest Group and ISG Provider Lens
Yeah.
have given them top ranking.
Have.
So they're up there.
Yeah.
It's not just about where they stand today.
Yeah.
It's about where they're headed.
Exactly.
Infosys is acutely aware of the challenges ahead. Geopolitical uncertainty, economic volatility,
Yeah.
the ever-evolving cybersecurity landscape.
Oh, yeah.
These are all factors that could impact their business.
Definitely.
And yet they seem remarkably optimistic about the future.
Yeah.
So where do they see the biggest opportunities?
Well, they're really excited about the continued growth of cloud computing.
Okay.
And as we've discussed,
Right.
they're all in on the potential of AI.
Yeah.
They also see a lot of room for expansion, particularly in new markets
Yeah.
and through strategic acquisitions.
Interesting. So it's not just about riding the current wave.
Nope.
It's about anticipating the next one and
Exactly.
positioning themselves
Right.
to capitalize on it.
Absolutely.
And they're backing up their ambitions with concrete actions. We talked about their investments in localization, cybersecurity, and upskilling their workforce.
Right.
These are all strategic initiatives
Yeah.
designed to make them more resilient and adaptable in the face of change.
Definitely.
So they're not resting on their laurels.
Nope.
They're taking a proactive,
Yeah.
almost aggressive approach to staying ahead of the curve.
I think that's fair to say.
But there's another layer to their strategy
Okay.
that we haven't touched on yet.
Right.
Their commitment to corporate social responsibility,
Right.
and sustainability.
Yeah, the ESG factor.
It's not just a buzzword anymore, is it?
It's not.
It seems like investors, clients,
Mm-hmm.
even employees are demanding that companies take these principles seriously.
Yeah, it's definitely become a major differentiator.
And Infosys seems to have fully embraced this shift.
They have.
They've woven ESG principles into their core operations, from promoting diversity and inclusion
Yep.
to reducing their environmental impact.
It's true.
So it's not just about profits for them.
It's not.
It's about making a positive impact on the world.
Right.
Which, frankly, is refreshing to see.
It is.
And it's likely to pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
Companies with strong ESG credentials are increasingly seen as better investments and more attractive partners.
That's right.
But even with all this positive momentum,
Yeah.
there's one crucial aspect.
Okay.
We still need to delve into their debt situation.
Yes, the elephant in the room.
Debt can be a powerful tool for growth,
It can.
but it can also be a burden.
It's true.
So let's put on our financial analyst hats and take a closer look at their debt profile
All right.
and what it means for their overall financial health.
That's
We're back for the final part of our Infosys deep dive.
all right.
We've covered a lot.
Yeah, a lot of ground.
Their history, financials, clients, even their ESG efforts.
Right.
Now it's time to tackle that debt question we left hanging.
Okay.
It's always important to see how a company is managing their debt,
Yeah.
especially now.
Right. Especially in today's uncertain economic climate.
Right? Debt can be a double-edged sword.
It can be.
So let's break it down.
Okay.
What does Infosys' debt situation actually look like?
Well, their latest financial statements show a pretty reassuring picture.
Okay.
Their debt-to-equity ratio is at a manageable 0.17.
Okay, so not a mountain of debt.
No.
What does that actually tell us?
Well, it suggests they're not overly reliant on borrowed funds.
Okay.
They've got a good balance between debt
Mm-hmm.
and equity financing,
Okay.
which gives them flexibility and makes them less vulnerable to interest rate fluctuations.
Okay.
It's a sign of a financially prudent company.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
But even with a healthy debt-to-equity ratio, can they actually cover
Right.
their short-term obligations? What about their liquidity?
Well, their current ratio is 2.42,
Okay.
which means they have more than enough current assets to meet their liabilities.
So they're in a good position to pay their bills, so to speak.
Right. Exactly.
No red flags there.
Nope.
So all signs point to a financially sound company.
It seems so.
But numbers only tell part of the story.
Yeah, that's true.
What's management's outlook for the future?
Well, Infosys acknowledges there are challenges on the horizon,
Okay.
geopolitical uncertainties,
Right.
macroeconomic volatility,
Uh-huh.
cyber attacks,
Right. The ever-present threat of cyber attacks.
all factors that could impact their business.
Definitely.
But they seem remarkably optimistic about the future.
They do.
Yeah.
Where do they see the biggest opportunities?
Well, they're really excited about the continued growth of cloud computing.
Okay.
And like we discussed, all in on AI.
They also see a lot of room for expansion,
Okay.
particularly in new markets and through acquisitions.
So it's not just about riding the current wave.
Right.
It's about anticipating the next one
Exactly.
and positioning themselves to capitalize on it. And they're backing up their ambitions with concrete actions.
Right.
We talked about localization, cybersecurity, upskilling their workforce.
That's right.
These are all strategic initiatives
Yeah.
to make them more resilient and adaptable. It seems like they're taking a very proactive approach,
I think that's a fair assessment.
almost future-proof.
Yeah.
So what's the big takeaway here for someone
Right.
who's maybe considering investing in Infosys or just wants to understand where this tech giant is headed?
Well, Infosys has come a long way from its humble beginnings.
Yeah, they have.
They've built a successful global business
Right.
by consistently innovating, adapting to change, and maintaining a strong focus on financial discipline. And they're not just chasing profits.
Nope.
Their commitment to ESG
Right.
shows that they're thinking about the long-term impact
Yeah.
of their actions on the world.
For impact on the world.
I think that's a key point.
Yeah.
They're not just a company.
Right.
They're part of a larger ecosystem.
That's right.
And they seem to understand that their success is intertwined with the well-being of their employees, their clients, even the planet.
The planet.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
So if you're looking for a tech company that's not only profitable, but also purpose-driven, Infosys is definitely worth a closer look.
Absolutely.
They've got a solid track record, a clear vision for the future, and a commitment to doing business the right way.
That's a winning combination in my book.
Well, there you have it, folks.
That's it.
We've taken a deep dive into the world of Infosys.
Yeah.
Explored their financials, their strategies, and their outlook for the future.
Their outlook.
Hopefully, you've come away
Right.
with a better understanding of this fascinating company.
Yeah.
And its place in the ever-evolving tech landscape.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure joining you on this deep dive.
The pleasure's all mine.
And remember, the world of technology is constantly changing, so stay curious, keep learning, and never stop exploring.
Good advice.
And if you ever find yourself drowning in data,
Yeah.
just send us your sources,
Great.
and we'll help you navigate the information overload.
Until next time.
Until next time,
Happy learning.
happy learning.